What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing Russell Westbrook. And now we know, with Russell Westbrook electing to opt out of his contract with the Denver Nuggets, he will become a free agent on June 30th. Now, this is the same Russell Westbrook, as we know, former MVP, has had stints with teams like the Houston Rockets, Los Angeles Clippers, Los Angeles Lakers. This is an interesting move, honestly, because I thought the situation in Denver was really good for Westbrook. We look at the resurgence that he had in the Nuggets rotation, especially when Jamal Murray was missing time. As Westbrook as a starter was somebody that I felt like could be counted on in so many roles. Now, granted, this isn't the MVP Russell Westbrook, but he still was able to give you double-digit points. He still was able to give you something that's in the realms of rebounding and assists. Russell Westbrook is still, in my opinion, one of those players that can add to a team. Now, with that being said, of course, we know he is older, and there are always give and take with Russell Westbrook. You have the good, you have the bad, you have the ups, you have the downs. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, with Russell Westbrook, there have been more downs than ups. But in my opinion, I think a veteran, former MVP, has been to the NBA Finals, haven't won it, but has been to the NBA Finals, knows what it takes to be not only great in the league for a very long time, but is a veteran presence. You know he's going to give you 110% every single time he touches the floor. So that's not even a question. I think, shot selection has always been one of those things where we talk about, like, oh, well, Russell Westbrook hasn't been the greatest three-point shooter, but when he makes them, he makes them, and sometimes when he takes them, it's not in the best moment of the game. And I know for the Denver Nuggets, that was one of the mainstays as far as front office was concerned of the playing of Russell Westbrook, and Michael Malone electing to play Russell Westbrook over, the younger guys that was on that roster, which ultimately led to his firing. But in the case of Russell Westbrook, I think, there are going to be teams that will, ultimately want his services, as far as, like I said, being that point guard, being that veteran leader, veteran presence, even if it's not in a starting role. But I think, sometimes when you look at players in their careers, you say, okay, well, right now, currently, do you see Russell Westbrook starting on an NBA roster? And it's interesting because the amount of teams that, off the top of my head, that I can just guess and say, okay, they need a point guard. And you look at teams like the Kings, you look at teams like, Minnesota, you look at teams like, dare I say, a New York City, where he comes off the bench in most instances. But you look at Russell Westbrook and you say to yourself, well, where is the next stop, right? Because now you're going to be on another team at the beginning of the season, and I'm not going to say the damage or whatever the case may be, but you look at his resume. It's a Hall of Fame resume, and if he was to elect to retire, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think Russell Westbrook still has more in the tank. I think he can get a 1 to 2 year deal somewhere in the realms of the NBA. I think his services are still well needed and important in today's game. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys think this was a good move or a bad move made by Russell Westbrook electing to opt out of his deal with the Denver Nuggets? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. This is Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I catch you guys on the next video.